Set to Love, Chapter 3, a Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction series written, voiced, and thumbnail drawn by me, EB Artix. If you haven't heard the first 2 chapters to this series, make sure to check out the description box below, and please enjoy Set to Love, Chapter 3. Mari, I'm so sad and lonely. Can we have a sleepover tonight? Alya pleaded over the FaceTime call, her voice laced with misplaced hope. Marinette, deep in her shopping excursion, wasn't having any of it. Alya, you just left my place 3 hours ago after a 2-night sleepover. You gotta get a life, Marinette replied calmly as she casually browsed through the racks of clothing, her fingers skimming over the fabrics. Alya persisted. I hate being here alone. This apartment feels so empty without Nino. He'll be back soon, Alya. You'll adjust, Marinette reassured, her attention momentarily diverted as she lifted a sleek black coat off the rack, studying it closely. But I hate it. I'd much rather be at your place, Alya whined. Unless you want to house sit while I'm away, all I can offer you is more FaceTime calls, Marinette reasoned as she tossed the coat into her shopping basket. That's not a bad thought. Could I do that? Alya questioned, picking up on some sort of meaning from Marinette's words that she hadn't grasped herself. Now perusing the boot aisle, Marinette responded. What, FaceTime me? You don't have to ask. No, like, house sit your apartment while you're away. I'd much rather be alone there than alone here. Please, Alya pleaded. I guess if you want to, Marinette replied, a playful smirk dancing across her lips. Just don't throw any parties or anything while I'm away. Oh no, I was totally planning on having a rager, Alya deadpanned, her tone dripping with sarcasm. Have you packed yet? I can come over now and help. Throwing some nice high-thigh boots into her basket and walking to the counter, Marinette answered. How about you meet me at the bakery? I'm having lunch with my parents in an hour, and afterwards you can help me pick out some more clothes. Why are you buying new clothes? Girl, you already have a full Marinette design closet. You're not going to fit everything in your suitcase. And besides, you never buy clothes, Alya questioned. Are you really going to turn down this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Of course not. It's just suspicious. Just what exactly brought on this change? Alya persisted, sounding like a seasoned journalist without answers, which, well, she was. Marinette shrugged. Maybe new city, new me? I want to try out a new style, and I'm only going to buy a few things here. I'll buy more in Shanghai. I need to look as least French as possible. My Mandarin isn't great, but I still want to fit in. More like you want to get out of speaking English because you became self-conscious when an American corrected you for saying, she assisted the conference, Alya teased, poking fun at her friend's linguistic mishap. Rude. Okay, I'd been in New York for nearly 10 months, and I directly translated from French to English. An honest, yet completely super beginner mistake. Not an I've been studying English for most of my adult life mistake. Her frustration was palpable as she recounted the incident. Even so, why didn't New City, New Me happen in New York? What, are you trying to impress someone? Alya prompted. Marinette sighed as she swiped her card at the register. More like keep a low profile. Alya turned to an anxious whisper. Code LB then? Not exactly, but there's something up with the director. He rubs me the wrong way, Marinette explained, mouthing a thank you to the cashier as she exited the store. What? He's a grumpy old man in a young man's body who would make the perfect Hawkmoth in a live action that tweens would have a Draco Malfoy-like crush on? Alya joked. Well, that's pretty right on. Marinette tried to recover. Alya laughed, amused. Nice save. But how'd you meet the director already? I get that you're on the production, but it's been how many years of dating Nino, and I've still never met his best friend, Marinette replied. Well, you should meet him yourself, Alya, but I'm not much of a fan. I can tell. What exactly did he do? Alya asked. Damn, she's been asking a lot of questions today. I made a totally understandable mistake, and he starts throwing insults at me personally. He's just so unprofessional. Then I defended myself and gave back the same energy, and I'm honestly surprised I'm not fired yet, Marinette replied, as she absent-mindedly plopped down on the bus stop bench, her shopping bags placed at her feet. She was focused on her conversation with Alya until... My Melody's had a rough day? Marinette whipped her head up, only to find a certain blue-haired man disguised in an all-black outfit, mask and bucket hat included, sitting next to her on the bench. She gasped. Luka Couffaine? If you're still Marinette Dupain-Cheng, he answered smugly. Marinette cringed as she heard Alya freak out on the other side. OMG, you're with Luka. Girl, what is going on in your dating life? Okay, gotta go, love you, bye. She quickly hung up to save herself from Alya's intrusive questions, also hoping that Luka hadn't heard Alya screaming. Yep, you're still the Marinette I knew. Luka smiled at her, amused, causing Marinette's heart to flush. Probably just from embarrassment, right? But she was quick to mask that and replied, smiling. And are you the Luka I knew? With a few more guitars and less free time, yes. He replied with an even bigger smile. Oh, Luka, what girl wouldn't fall for you when you look at them like that? Wait, no, why was she thinking like this? Oh? Don't you mean a sold-out world tour and millions of album sales to your name? Marinette said, attempting to be smug and leaning closer to him. He tilted closer to her, amused. Well, yes, but I don't like to lead with that when I'm talking to girls. What a catfish. Watch out, or another pop star could be writing a heartbreak song about you. Marinette played back. Was this banter? The last time she bantered with a guy like this was... Cat Noir. Well, way to bring your mood down, Marinette. I've written a few of those myself, and they tend to be the best. Luka kept his gaze locked to her. Marinette grinned. Like, it's better to be held than holding on. She attempted to sing Luka's hit debut single. Luka laughed. Yeah, double platinum or whatever. Marinette laughed too. Well, just make sure you give the girl you wrote it about one of those platinums. Luka exhaled, looking impossibly deeper into her eyes. Yeah, I should. Then after a beat of silence, he suddenly lowered his gaze to the floor. Why haven't you reached out? Huh? She half responded, surprised by the sudden change of tone and loss of eye contact, more than the question. You know what I've been up to. You know my song, She's in the Rain. I didn't know what happened to you. Luka elaborated. Now Marinette felt guilty. Well, I was at your concert in New York, that is. Luka met her eyes again, surprised by her words, then disappointed. Why didn't you contact me? We could have caught up. I am a mess. I'm so happy to see you reach your dreams, Luka. Seriously, I never forgot about you. But meanwhile, I've been nothing short of a failure, and I guess I'm a bit embarrassed about it. She admitted, struggling against the urge to twirl her thumbs. Give yourself time, he said, gently holding her shoulder. You'll meet the right people and you'll get your break. Marinette leaned into his touch, her voice softening. I'm trying, but it feels like I'm falling behind. Mari, trust me, you're not. And if you ever feel like you want to change directions, call me. I'll be there to help you out. You're important to me, Marinette. Luka offered, leaning ever so closer to her. Thanks, Luka, she stuttered, her mind racing with questions. When did he get so close? Like, physically? When did that happen? It's okay, you can tell me anything, or nothing if you prefer. Just be in my life, okay? He held out his pinky finger, a small gesture that made her heart race as she promised. Okay. And, for the record, I've never forgotten about you either, Marinette. He said, not letting go of her pinky finger. Gosh, was it hot in here? Why were her cheeks burning up? Luckily, Luka spoke up again, pulling her out of her overthinking trance. Are you free tomorrow? He asked, breaking the silence. Huh? Oh, I have a flight to Shanghai, that is. She stumbled out, mentally scolding herself. Seriously, get a hold of yourself, Marinette. Strike two. Luka grinned. Oh, really? So am I. Oh? She raised an eyebrow. A mate hired me as the composer for his musical film, Luka explained. There is no way, but it's too much of a coincidence not to ask, right? Even if she couldn't picture Luka being mates with that lame excuse of a director. Well, to be fair, she couldn't picture Nino being buddies with him either, now that she thought about it. Adrien Agreste? She queried. How'd you... I'm in the art department, she answered, subtly steering the conversation away from her disliked boss. Luka perked up, his grin widening. Sounds like I'll be seeing you more often over the next few months, he remarked, anticipation in his voice. Yeah, she supposed, looking down at her feet, smiling. Could I book in with you after we land? He asked, and her eyes shot up to his, surprised by the sudden request. In Shanghai? She clarified. I'd like to take my first love on a date while I have the chance, he said, maintaining eye contact with her, his sincerity discernible. Was she dreaming? Or on drugs? Did she hear that right? There's no way. First love? She questioned, her mind spinning with disbelief. He maintained his smile. Do you know any restaurants in Shanghai? She didn't even pick up on his dodging of the question as she quickly restarted her brain, hoping to think with some kind of logic. My uncle has one, she offered, trying to regain her composure. Perfect. Is it a date? He asked, his eyes hopeful, awaiting her response. So this would be her first date, and it would be with Luka. Her Luka. She should probably think this through, think of all the positives, negatives, and consequences, and plan out all the logistics of how she was going to... Sure, she answered, pushing away the anxiety plaguing her mind. She couldn't tell you why, she agreed. Maybe it was because she trusted him, or maybe because she wanted to take a chance and believe in her own happiness. Or maybe, just maybe, she was finally getting over Cat Noir. No matter the reason, she had a date tomorrow, and a flight she still hadn't packed for. Wait, is that her bus? That's you, I assume? Luka asked, noticing her head turning away. Ah, yeah, that's me. She stood up, surprised by his gesture as Luka was one step ahead, picking up her bags and holding them out to her. She thanked him, feeling a rush of gratitude. So, I'll see you tomorrow? She confirmed, a mix of nervousness and anticipation in her voice. Yes, I'll see you tomorrow, Marinette. He waved, sweetly. See you. She waved back, her heart light as she got onto the bus, swiping her card and then finding a seat. Looking out the window, she saw Luka gesturing for her to look inside one of her bags. Confused, she picked up one of her shopping bags to find his name scribbled on a sticky note inside, along with his phone number. Smart. She took out her phone and sent him a message. Thanks, Luka. No problem, he messaged back. Handing over her key to Alya and bidding her farewell at the airport entrance, Marinette successfully made her way through security. She then found Nathaniel and other members of the art department in the departure lounge and sat with them, and assuming he was on the same flight, scanning the area for Luka. Who are you looking for? Nathaniel questioned, his sketchbook out as he drew her. Marinette felt a twinge of nervousness at being a model for his drawing, but Nathaniel promised she could keep it when he was done, and she wanted a piece of Nathaniel's art, no matter the non-monetary cost. Do you remember Luka, Julika's twin? She asked, hoping Nathaniel would recall Luka, even though he didn't hang out on the Liberty as often as she did. Nathaniel tapped his pen on his chin. Vaguely, blue hair, right? That's his defining physical feature, she confirmed with a chuckle. He's working on the music for this film, she added, providing a bit more context. Oh, so he's Luka Couffaine then? Nathaniel questioned, and Marinette nodded. Nathaniel leaned back in his chair, the realization crossing his face. Whoa, I never put the two together, but it makes sense, he remarked, connecting the dots. Who are we putting together? A voice behind them called out. Because if this airline segregates by eye color, I think I'll be in good company. A voice quipped, drawing their attention. Marinette turned around, her face brightening. Luka! She greeted warmly, and Luka enveloped her in a hug. Marinette couldn't help but notice the coincidence as she looked around. They all had blue eyes. Funny, she mused. The little details that escape notice until they're pointed out. Hey Nath, nice to see you here. Luka greeted Nathaniel, his memory clearly sharper than Nathaniel's when it came to past encounters. You too, with Bourgeois over there. This is like a little Lance reunion. Nathaniel and Luka exchanged fist bumps. Oh, is first class departing already? I guess I better get on. Luka turned to Marinette, leaning in as if he wanted to tell her a secret. But he remained silent, instead shifting to gently kiss her forehead. See you when we land, he said softly before heading towards the gate. What was that? Did she just get forehead kissed? Okay, this was new, and she kinda liked it. Nathaniel attempted a whistle, but it came out more airy than whistly. What's with the new development? No wonder you were so determined to find him, he remarked with a playful grin. It's nothing. Not yet, at least. Marinette struggled to defend herself, feeling a blush creeping up her cheeks. Nathaniel smiled. Keep me updated then, he said, packing up his things as he heard his row being called to the gate. I'll see you in Shanghai. What, you're in the back? No fair, I'm at the front, Marinette complained, also beginning to gather her things. Loser, Nathaniel called playfully as he got into line, moving away from Marinette, leaving her unable to come up with a comeback. Jerk, she muffled, her playful retort lost in the bustling airport noise. When Marinette finally heard her row called, she got her boarding pass checked and felt a wave of relief wash over her. Excited for the next 12 hours of stress-free time, she looked forward to being alone, relaxing, watching some cheesy plane movies, and maybe even working on some designs if she felt productive. She only had to walk down 10 rows of economy to find her seat, but as soon as she faced her row, she glanced down to hear someone mutter her name. Miss Dupain-Cheng? She couldn't hide the bitterness in her tone as she responded to the blonde man sitting in the seat right next to hers. Monsieur Agreste. Why on earth did she take this gig again? Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed chapter 3 of Set to Love. The next chapter will be coming out at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time next Friday. I'll see you then. Bye.